đang nghỉ làm nè. Đi làm không có quan trọng, đi dự lễ phát thưởng cho con gái mới là quan trọng. Vinh dự hả? Vinh dự quan trọng hơn tiền bạc.
Đây là đang chuẩn bị bước vào ngôi trường của con gái. Hôm nay thì con gái được phát hiệu thưởng trường Paulo Duro High School. Đây mọi người nhìn thấy ngôi trường PD là PD Paulo Duro.
Nó đọc là
Có một nhân vật quan trọng từ xa đang tiến tới.
hậu như chụp cho phim nó quan trọng.
Xin giới thiệu quý vị, đây là một nhân vật quan trọng. Hôm nay đến trường của Thiên Ái để Thiên Ái nhận một cái học bổng.
Nó nói học bổng là kiểu phần thưởng.
I'm Brandy Self, the principal at Colorado High School. I want to begin by thanking our string ensemble led by Mrs. Stevie and our orchestra. Thank you for your music. It's always wonderful to hear you play. Thank you for that this morning. At this time, I would like to ask the audience to please rise for the presentation of colors by the Colorado High School Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Colorado High School Student Body President Aurora Gonzalez.
Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Go. Pose. Go. Ready. One. Pose. Order. March. Right. Haste. Forward. March.
Thank you. You may be seated.
We would like to thank everyone for joining us today in celebrating our Superintendent Scholars. I would like to recognize some guests that are joining us today. First, parents, we'd like to welcome you to Palo Duro. We always love to see you, and we appreciate you making time in your day to come and celebrate your kids with us. So thank you very much for joining us. We would like to recognize our middle school principals. They're here joining us today, supporting you. Mr. Brad Phillips of Allen, Ms. Tammy Villarreal of Man, and Mr. Keith McLaughlin from Travis. Thank you for joining us. We have some board trustee members joining us today. Mr. Powell and his wife, Mrs. Powell, thank you for coming. Mr. David Nance is with us. From the ESC, our support center, Ms. Stephanie Fretwell, who supports us in everything. And Ms. Jennifer Wilkerson, our assistant superintendent of middle schools, is here. And Mr. Doug Loomis, our superintendent. Thank you all for joining us today. Being a superintendent scholar is not an easy task, and we talk about this every time we meet with you guys, how hard you work. To be a superintendent scholar, students have to have a 90 or better in their AP classes and their advanced classes, and a 95 or better in regular class. 9th through 11th graders have to have that in 5 classes, and seniors have to have that in 4 classes. These are core and elective classes. I think when we talk about making grades at Palo Duro, we recognize that you have to do schoolwork, but we also recognize that our kids are involved in many extracurricular activities. Many of our students have jobs after school. They have family responsibilities. You live full, busy, active lives. And so I want to take a minute and really just congratulate you on your hard work and your persistence in excellence in education. I know that it's hard, and I know you work very hard, and we're proud of you today. So great job for that. At this time, I'd like to welcome Mr. Doug Loomis to come to the stage and present our scholars. Thank you. Counselors, at this time, please join us.
Good morning, everyone. Over the past few celebrations, we've drawn lessons from diverse sources, from the undying spirit of the Kentucky Derby horse to the balanced dynamics and relationships and the relentless pursuit of overcoming challenges, just the value of hard work. Each assembly brought us insights into not just surviving, but thriving through adversity and cooperation. Since our last meeting, I've celebrated my 60th birthday. And let me tell you, turning 60 is hard. 30 was easy, 50 was easy, 60 hadn't been so easy. And I'm sure to the young eyes in the auditorium, I might seem like a relic of a bygone era. And I might even agree with you each morning as I creak out of bed. Turning 60 has been so hard. So as with any milestone, I've spent some significant time reflecting on the ups and downs of life has afforded me over the last 6 decades. So today I want to spend a minute or two on the concepts surrounding our moral compass. Things like, how do you develop a moral compass? Who taught us to discern right from wrong? And in today's polarized world, how do we know which side to stand on? These questions remind me of a principle I drilled into my own kids. It matters more what you do when I'm not looking than when I am. This wisdom didn't spring just out of nowhere. As I look around and see many faces of parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, aunts, and uncles, guardians in this auditorium, I'm reminded of my own father, my hero. Not just because he was my dad, because of the man he was. And that's a story for another day. I vividly recall one of the times I first understood the weight of his words. It started in 1979. Yeah, I really am old, aren't I? 1979. A different era indeed. I was a freshman in high school. Where are my freshmen this morning? Yeah, in 1979, I was you. In 1979, I was a freshman. It was the last day of school. Summer beckoned. I managed to convince my father to let me go to the drive-in movie with friends. He agreed, but sternly reminded me of a concurrent senior party I was to avoid at all costs. So as I turn the page, you know what happened next, right? Predictably, we ditched the boring movie for the thrilling party that was across town. But as we approached, my dad's lessons echoed in my mind. Boy, you better not embarrass the family. Remember the trust I instilled in you? And maybe most importantly, I remembered those words, where am I supposed to be tonight? Against the pull of peer pressure, I turned around and walked home instead of going into that party. A decision that set my life on a new trajectory. One element that probably shaped my decision that summer night back in 1979 was the trust my father placed in me. He allowed me the freedom to go to the drive-in movie with friends, a simple act that carried a really deep message. He believed in my judgment. This trust wasn't just permission, it was a challenge. It silently said, I trust you to make the right choices. This trust resonated deeply with me as I approached the party that night. At that moment, the weight of his expectations became clear. It wasn't about simply avoiding trouble. It was about living up to the trust that he had so graciously extended. Choosing to walk away wasn't just avoiding a mistake. It was affirming his belief in my character. It was my actions, guided by his trust, that truly defined that night's lesson. So let's fast forward to 1982. Where are my seniors? Come on, be proud. You know, what are we, 2 or 3 days before school's out? You guys ought to be smiling big. So it was back in 1982. As a senior, just days from graduation, I had chosen a path markedly different from those friends. I had parted ways that fateful night 3 years earlier. That summer was pivotal for me. While I spent my days balancing play and work as a lifeguard at the local pool, my nights were filled with anticipation of going off to college. But amid these typical teenage experiences, I found myself visiting my high school friends, not at our local hangouts or Friday night dances, but at the county jail. They had been caught up in the consequences of their high school escapades. Each visit was a stark reminder of how our paths had diverged. These visits were more than just gestures of friendship. They served as a profound real-time lesson of the repercussions of our choices. Witnessing firsthand the stark outcomes of our differing decisions underscores the immense impact of the values instilled in me. My moral compass, shaped by lessons from trusted role models, and had steered me clear of similar fates. Today, I stand before you, not claiming perfection, because those in the audience who know me know I'm anything but perfect. I've made my share of mistakes, but the values instilled in me have guided me through life's complex landscape. Each of you has your own set of heroes, role models. Hold tightly to the lessons they've taught you. We're often told about our rights, but every choice has an action that has equal consequences. Trust your moral compass. It will serve you well as it has served me since that moment in 1979. Thank you very much.
Trying not to be emotional for this last ceremony with these guys. Seniors, Kimberly Aparicio, Jaylene Barrera, Brian Kempa, Nevaeh Carey, Emily Cavazos, Linda Coronado Huerta, Isaac Diaz, Jonathan Falcone, Daria Gold, Martha Gonzalez, Lorna Gonzalez Garcia, Jayjana Henderson, TC, Ram 2, A. Hoon, Carla Jorge, Malika Coihinga, A. Hoon, Carla Jorge, Malika Coihinga, David Lamb, Nene Lee, Michelle Lizardo, Stet Mu, Verkana, Kiana No, Brian Wynn, Jimmy Wynn, Kim Wynn, Mary Wynn, Jacob Pacheco, Flute Ha, Kimberly Ramos, Yvonne Rebecca, Noah Reeves, Selena Rodriguez de Jimenez, Brandy Sanchez, Chastity Smith, Smooth So, Angelina Sirbu, Kevin Tran, Alex Trevino, Isabel Vasquez, Artavius Walger, Brianne Williams, Nian Nguyen, and Jennifer Yanez Lopez. Let's give the scholars of the class of 2024. And now we welcome Mrs. Bain to the stage to introduce the juniors.
Good morning. We're asked.
Quanh đây chỗ bà nhạc. Bên đây.
I would like a pen.
Kêu mẹ ái.
Nó vô mà lấy cho bạn. Nó hết được rồi, coi cắn miếng nè, ba nè.
Hả?
Cho lấy cái. Nãy con đem thì không thì anh á. Con nấu miếng gì đâu. Giải của con ta được 300, con được 1000 ha ha.
Trước mặt có một cái nhà thờ Church of Christ.